Here is our city so far, and we will need to redo a few things such as this highway interchange and modify this nearly 90-degree road that turns to a bridge that goes straight for almost as long as an entire game tile. Now that's much better. These roads feel more comfortable and natural. This is Captain Ahvious, and in this episode 8 of the second season, we will be creating a new vanilla 4-way interchange. First, we will need about 20 terrain units or levels to be the top road of our 3-stack interchange. You can see that the area where we will place our interchange is completely flat, and we will also assume that the current ground level is at 0. Then by observing the mountain, you will see that there are thicker white lines which indicates the 10th level, and what we need is roughly 20 levels. So using the level terrain tool, we will right click roughly at the 20th level, then left click to create the terrain at the same height. And we're out of soil because for the most part, this is a vanilla city with only visual mods to help improve the clarity of this video recording. So there is no Move It mod, therefore if you play on console, PS4 or Xbox, then everything you see here is completely possible. Just an FYI that from time to time, I will be skipping scenes of me transferring soil from around the map. Next step is to make the top level of the road, which we want slightly curved. And make sure that you have an idea on where you want the roads to end, then to reconnect to the rest of the highway. We will be using the 4-way highway, and we will start off with that curve. Make sure we are using this. I will be using shortcuts so you won't see me clicking here. That looks like the curve that I want. And then at each end, go back to the straight road tool, move forward a little. This is your markers. And then from there, go back about the same exact distance. I believe it's here. And do the same thing on the other side. So these are your markers for both ends. And you're gonna want to try to put them together. Sometimes you won't see the guideline to reconnect them, so just go find a node, then goes out a little bit, and then that should appear. If not, try switching the roads to the other direction. Here. Oh, still too far away. I saw it. Well, it looks like we didn't need the guidelines and pretty much just eyeballed it, and it seems pretty even. So we have our curved highway, then now we need to determine where the other main road will pass through. So we need to zoom out and imagine this connecting there. So it's roughly around here. And what we're looking at are the nodes. You need to look at the 4 sets of nodes so you know that a highway will go right through here. So at around this point, I will create a marker. So it goes through here, yes, around here. So I will create a marker here, straight line. There, so that's 1. So this is the middle. This is the outer edge. There you go. And then we will, wait, let me just extend this a little more. We will delete this. Now, I am going to remove the soil. So this will be the underpass, or the very road underneath that will go through there. But there's going to be a problem if we try to reconnect that. So for instance, we did this. Tried to connect it that way. This is a common problem, but there is a fix, which is why we did this first. All we need to do is to dig deep. Let me just dump the soil. All right, so we're back and let's try to connect that. Try to make it the same exact angle. Do our best to eyeball it. Much. There you go. And now you have the perfect bridge. And of course, all we need to do is bring back the soil. We will now add the underpass highway between these two pillars. And remember to mine the endpoints of each highway. And also don't forget to add in that slide curve. So we want it to go like that. Now we'll add in the second road level by first raising the terrain at a little under the thick white line. So here is that line. So I'm going to go a little under and then just raise the terrain like so. And we need more soil. Then we'll need the curved slope for our loop, and you want to choose the area that has the more space. So this has much more space to do the curve. And keep in mind that there will be two lane highways that will pass on this elevated terrain. So we will delete this and use the slope terrain, grab from the top and curve it downward. You know what? I derped a little. We actually needed the level to be above the thick white line here. So we'll just add more soil, which isn't a problem. There we are. Adding a little more. Make sure this is flat. Now the hard part, which is trying to make the perfect loop. But first, we'll add in the two roads that goes on this level. We will just be using the standard 2-lane roads. The road closest to the bottom highway can be straight, while the road towards the inner part should be curved a little. And then I will be removing the snapping tool. No, I'm wrong. We don't need to remove the snapping tool. And there we are. We'll start the end of the loop at around this area. So we're going to use the straight road tool and have it curve there. And then we're gonna do a half circle. So as you can see, there's a line that appears. So this is 5 units and over there is 10. So we're gonna make it just a little less than 10. Put it around there. Then half circle. So I saw that line pop in. And there is our half circle. And then we want to connect it there. But I think this is a little too close. So I will reconnect that, and there we are. That is our loop. Now we'll go to the other side of the bottom of the highway and create that second level terrain using the same height from the other side. We'll create our 2 second level roads and watch where the pillars are, because you don't want to be placing here. This should be facing going towards that direction. I'm gonna turn off snapping, so all of them. Then again, I have a shortcut to turn on and off the snapping. Curve that way, this way. Of course, that's the wrong type of road, but it doesn't really matter. Then right back on top, we are going to create that connecting road. But we need some space here, so I'll add this. So we want a road that will go that way, this way, and then it will connect to the bottom. Let's not forget to smooth out the slopes. Then we'll need to delete the bottom highway to connect our curved bridge, and we'll be using the same technique by adding end markers, then digging to make that perfect sloped bridge. Because of the middle pillar, the bottom highway will slightly have a larger gap, but that's completely fine. It's not the end of the world. As long as we adapt to the circumstances, we can still make it look natural. Now we'll just connect the bottom highways together with a beautiful curved roads that always makes things look more organic and natural. The only conditions where we use straight grid type of roads is when there has to be a large ploppable building that needs to be placed next to it. Now it's time to connect the 2-lane highway that will go under the bridge, then connect with the bottom 4-lane highway. Let's not forget to smooth out that slope, and we may also need to do some micro terraforming to get that road to fit under the bridge. We will also need to create a forked road to connect both the top and mid road to the bottom highway. To complete the first quarter of our interchange, we'll just need to connect the top highway to the forked road. If you find that your loop has ample space, feel free to adjust its curve to occupy the empty area. And on the bottom half of our interchange, we'll basically apply the same format from the top by adding in two-lane roads on the second terrain level, then apply the curved slope, and finally create our road loop. Creating the curved bridge is probably the most difficult part of this interchange because you need to make it look right. So feel free to demolish and repeat until you find the curve that works for you. I find that the extremely wide curves is the most convincing curve. Basically, make sure that there is more curve than there is a straight road. I kinda screwed up here and didn't dig deep enough at the end point, so we didn't do the bridge right. Now we'll have to dig a hole again and redo the same process. This time, we'll take a moment to check if the curve and bridge is right. And now this bottom highway should be able to go under the bridge. It will be a little funky at first because the bridge pillars is an obstacle that we need to overcome, and this is why we are building our bottom highway right in the middle of our top bridge highway pillars. That bottom highway curve looks about right, but we need to fix that little terrain issue. Then this bottom section should be done and it's all downhill from here. We'll of course just need to connect these bottom highways together and we're done with the bottom half. Then we'll just need to create forked roads to connect the bottom highway to the top. For the most part, the interchange is considered completed and will just need some tree and rock decorating. But first, let's connect the final top highway together that will go across the river, then rest on the middle island before proceeding to the other side of the river. When creating bridges that go across water, it's more visually appealing when the bridge has enclosures or suspensions, so this is the right time to make straight roads. From the island to the other side of the river, we'll make a slight curve before making another straight bridge. This slight curve will make the overall appearance of your bridge look more aesthetically appealing than having a really long straight bridge. We'll give Mother Earth a good old soothing massage, then replant our trees of choice, which are conifer trees, and add a few rock formations and other decorations to wrap up our interchange design. And here's the current progress of our vanilla city. The new interchange that we made is different from the original, nevertheless we are going in a different direction for this YouTube series. If you haven't subscribed already and would like to be notified as we progress with this city, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until then, this is Captain Ahvious, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode.